Hi, I'm Heather, and this is knitting update number 46 for Saturday, March 7th, 2026. And just a little weather update is actually nice here. I mean, it's 18 degrees out. It's been cloudy and raining for most of the day, but it looks like a lot of the snow is melting, which would be great. And then we're supposed to get a lot of snow next weekend. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but that kind of sucks. Anyways, I do have some knitting updates to share. And so I took out the body ribbing on the sweater that I had done all day yesterday. This morning I finished it, so I started doing the bind off, and then I tried the sweater on again, and I still wasn't happy with, like, this was my fear after I tried it on and before I tried it on the second time. When I was working on the ribbing, I felt like it just proportionately looked weird to me, like there wasn't enough of the plain stockinette between the color work and then the black ribbing, and I was kind of nervous about how it'd look, especially when I put the ribbing on the sleeves. When I finished off the sleeves, I thought it's just gonna be not enough length difference in between, like the bottom of the sleeve and the bottom of the body, and I was worried that was gonna look a little bit weird. So I figured I would rip back the ribbing and then do the sleeves and then try it on again, and I could better determine the length once the sleeves were finished, and I could at least add an inch or so to the stockinette and then redo the ribbing. So I feel pretty good about making that decision. Yeah, so I did do all the ribbing on the first sleeve. I'm just gonna bind it off. I was trying to finish it before I did the video, but it keeps hovering around, like raining and not raining, and it's not raining right now, so the light is probably a little bit better to do a video. And if I wait too long, it's going to be dark out because it's getting late in the day. So I just figured I would show it as is, but I'm done the ribbing on the sleeve, and I just want to do the bind off. So I did use a 2mm needle or US size 0 for the ribbing on the sleeve, and then also the collar. So the collar I did because I noticed in a lot of the finished product photos that the neckline was really big, so I did the size 1, and then I also used a 2mm needle. And then because this is actually I do have a 3.25, which is the size of needle I use for the body ribbing, but my smaller circumference one is being used to knit a hat, and I didn't want to take it out of that project, just to do the ribbing, and I liked how the ribbing looked in the 2mm needle, so I decided to just use it again. And I didn't know if I'd have to do decreases on the sleeve, and I figured if I did the 2mm, I just wouldn't do any decreases before doing the cuff, but there aren't any decreases. So I think the cuff or the sleeve is gonna look a little bit tight, but I think I'll be okay with it. When I tried it on, it didn't feel, of course it's hard to tell when there's no ribbing and it's just like the stockinette rolling up, but it didn't feel too big or too small. So I'm hopeful that this will feel fine. Yes, so I'm gonna finish this now, and I will go on and pick up the stitches so I can knit the ribbing on the other sleeve, and then I can try it on again and kind of better determine how long to make it. But I think I'm only actually gonna add like 2 inches maximum before I go back and do the ribbing again, because like I said, I don't want it to be super long. It won't be super long if I add 2 inches, but I feel like that 1 to 2 inches is gonna look better. I feel good about that. So yeah, I don't really like ripping stuff back and redoing it, but lately I find I'm having a really hard time like determining what length I want my sweaters to be. But I think also because the next project I want to do is actually supposed to be a crop top, not like more at the waist, like, and more fitted. I think I'm okay with this one being a little bit longer. Also, I think it's kind of on the bigger side. So to have it so short maybe looked awkward. And then just the small difference between, like I said, like this being so small, and I hadn't even added the ribbing to this yet. I just feel like proportionately it looks really strange. So yeah, that's it for me for today, but I will see you tomorrow. Bye.